this episode of our how-to series, we're going to show you how to install your new Everest band. If you have a rubber, curved leather, steel and link leather, nylon, or a deployant, we've got you covered. So settle in, grab your Everest toolkit, pour a cup of coffee, and let's install that strap. First up, gather your supplies. Your Everest spring bar tool and screwdriver, a cloth to make a safe working area, and some tape. This tape can be anything with a lower tack, like scotch tape, electrical tape, or painter's tape. Anything stronger is going to leave a ton of sticky mess on your watch and probably catch some arm hair too. Yow! Take small pieces of tape and wrap it around your lugs. This protects your case from any potential scratching. You could even wrap up the entire back side of your case if you want to be super duper careful. Place your watch face down on your cloth surface and open up the bracelet clasp. This gives you a little more room when doing the install. If you need even more space, just remove a screw from your bracelet and fully lay it out. With your spring bar tool, depress one side of the spring bar until it pops out of the lug hole. If it doesn't rest on the interior of the lug by itself, push it back in just enough to do so. By doing this, we cut down on the risk of scratching the case when the bar comes all the way out. Do the same thing to the other spring bar, resting it on the inside of the lug. Gently slide the end link up to fully release the spring bar, but watch out! These spring bars are under a lot of pressure, so they have the potential to launch into space if you don't have control of them. Just take your time and be careful, like gently popping open a bottle of bubbly. Again, repeat this step for the other lugs. Go slow, don't lose your spring bar, and don't scratch your case. Unless you're going for more of a shabby chic look, then by all means, scratch away. Once you have your bracelet fully removed, now would be a great time to give it a good cleaning. And just your luck, we made a video on how to clean your watch. Check it out right here. In fact, you're so lucky that you can store your removed bracelet in the same pouch your Everest band came in. How convenient! Now, you're ready to install your Everest band where the bracelet was. Let's start with a gray rubber strap. Generally, the tongue strap is installed on the 6 o'clock side and the buckle strap is at noon. When your case is facing down on the cloth, point the crown to 12 o'clock and your tongue strap will be on the left. If you live in Australia, then it's the other way around. Right? So, to install these straps, we basically work in reverse order of removing the bracelet. Wedge one end of the spring bar into the lug hole, resting the other end on the lug. Depress that end in and fire it into the lug hole. Your new strap is now installed. It's that simple. Installing an Everest rubber strap on your Tudor watch works just the same way. If you have a watch with drilled lugs, like this Rolex Datejust 36mm, set up your workspace the same way. But first, flip the bit on your tool to the drilled lug bit side. Instead of accessing the spring bars from between the lugs, you can reach them from the outside. Just push in with your tool, pop the spring, and lift up on the strap. Voila! Let's move on and install a leather strap. Set the strap between the lugs with the ends of the spring bar resting on top of your taped lugs. Using the spring bar tool, work one end of the spring bar down inside the lug, wedging it in there just so, but not yet fully inside the lug holes. That's important. Repeat for the other end. Continue putting gentle downward pressure on the end of the strap until the spring bar fires into the lug holes. When it pops, you're done. That's it. If for some reason the spring bar doesn't fire all the way in, give it a little forward assist and it should fall in line. The same goes for a steel end link leather strap and a nylon strap. These, along with the leather straps, can be pretty stiff, so your best strategy is to just be patient. For all the Paneristi new to the Everest Band Club, here's the trick to installing an Everest leather strap on your Panerai 44mm Luminor. In place of the traditional spring bar, Panerai uses a screw that spans the entire distance between the lugs. Using your screwdriver, take out the screw, remove the bracelet, replace it with your Everest band, and reinstall the screw. Easy peasy. Same goes for the buckle. Easily swapped out and fits just the same. At this time, we only have a leather strap for your Panerai, but we are close to releasing an Everest rubber. Moving on to a deployant. It's imperative that you make sure your Everest deployant strap is the right fit when ordering. So the size of your deployant rubber strap should match the number of links on your bracelet. Meaning, if you have 4 links at 6 o'clock and 5 links at 12 o'clock, your rubber strap pieces should correspond in length, 4 and 5. Our deployant strap installs using spring bars, so use the rubber installation method we detailed earlier. Note, it's easier to attach the deployant clasp to the strap if the strap has already been installed to the case. To get the metal clasp attached to the rubber, first remove the screws that connect the clasp to the bracelet. But wait, there might be a problem here, and it involves a bit of recent history. Several years ago, Rolex owners were having issues with these screws loosening themselves and blocking the clasp from being fully undone, making the watch unremovable. These Rolex owners had to make a choice: either use brute force to get the clasp undone, resulting in major damage to the bracelet, or chop off their own hand at the wrist. Most owners chose the former, thus preventing countless unnecessary trips to the ER. And of course, owners complained to Rolex, so Rolex made a simple fix by adding a drop of blue gradient Loctite glue to each screw. That did the trick, and the screws stayed put. Flash forward to today. You want to install your Everest deployant strap, but how do you get that glued screw out without destroying your tiny screwdriver or bracelet? Simple. A little physical science. Bring a bowl of water to near boiling, about 200 degrees, and dip your clasp in until that Loctite glue liquefies enough to remove the screw, about 30 to 45 seconds. Bingo, loose screw. That process, the boiling of the water and melting of the glue, is called a physical reaction. And this has been your 4th grade science lesson for the day. Using your cloth to avoid burning your skin, hold the hot bracelet, unscrew the clasp, and set the bracelet aside. Line up the clasp ends to the ends of the rubber strap and reinstall those screws. Tighten until the screws are flush with the clasp surface. Your deployant strap is now fully installed. Now you can impress your friends with your newfound horology skills and knowledge of basic physical science. One last note about the literal linchpins of this operation, your spring bars. If you find in this process that they are at all bent or damaged, replace them right away. If you don't, your band could come loose or the spring bar could damage your watch. Because we love you guys so much, each of our straps comes with 2 Everest-made replacement spring bars. And even if your spring bars look like they're in good shape, the springs on the inside do wear out, so we recommend replacing them every 4 to 5 years. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope you get a lot of enjoyment out of your new Everest band. If you run into any trouble with your installation, please contact us or leave us a comment below. We're happy to coach you along in the process. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more videos, watch battles, timepiece history, more tutorials, and other fun stuff. The more you watch, the more we get to make. Later, Watch fam.